Ready, set, go.
Hi, this is Harris with Pogos, and we're doing our first video today, Saturday the 10th, with Hudson Whiskeys, with the representative from Grant, with Alex. He's going to explain these to us, and go through them real quick. And they're really interesting packages, and tasted them before, and they're an excellent product. So, without further ado, Alex, do you want to go through it in a normal way?
Absolutely, yeah. So we'll start with the tasting a little bit of history about Hudson. It's the first whiskey to be distilled out of New York since Prohibition, and the first bourbon ever to be produced out of New York. So there's 5 varieties: the New York corn, Manhattan rye, baby bourbon, 4-grain, and then the single malt. So we'll start with the New York corn. This is the only unaged spirit that they have. It's very unique in the type of corn that's used. It hasn't been propagated in the United States for several hundred years. So they found a seed saver upstate to actually grow the specific corn for this whiskey. So yep. Yep. So the nose on that obviously is the popcorn and butter. It's a very smooth finish, different than a lot of the white whiskeys that are out there. You'll taste that because it's that special, unique corn that they grow within 5 miles of the distillery. It's just grown for Hudson whiskey.
It's real clean finish. Maybe a little sweetness? Or?
Yes, definitely. Yeah, the corn has a little bit of sweetness into it.
Okay.
And then the next one, I'll skip over the rye, we'll go to the baby bourbon. The corn is the base of the baby bourbon, and there's nothing else added. It's just literally this put into barrels.
Okay.
And they're aged approximately, under 4 years, but it's about 4 months per gallon that they'll age them. So versus scotches that say has to be 10 or 12 years, they do it by the taste and the color. When it's ready to bottle, when it's good, they bottle it, so they don't worry about how much time it's supposed to go. So, and then this is the baby bourbon.
Do these get more complex as we go?
They're all uniquely different. So yeah, there's not one that's better than the other, or older than the other. They're just they're all very unique. They're all single grain, obviously, except the 4-grain bourbon.
It seems rye is real popular right now.
Yes, right. And they were one of the first ones to do rye. And this is one of the only 100% rye whiskeys.
Totally.
Yeah, and that's just the corn aged in the
richer. Totally can drink this without anything.
Absolutely. Yeah. Doesn't need water, ice, and
that's
great. Yeah.
Okay.
And then we'll go to the 4-grain bourbon. The base of that is the corn. It's 60% corn, rye, wheat, and barley. So you kind of get some of the zest from the rye, the sweetness from the corn, and it's actually very, very popular also. A lot of the older bourbons, they're 2 and 3 grains. So this is unique that it's the 4th grain added.
So when the word baby, what is that?
It's just a cute name for the product. There was nothing other than a cool name for the.
It's not younger, because I know some other bourbons have used the word baby.
Yeah, it's just that's just a cute name.
Totally different. A little more burn.
A little peppery on that one.
Yeah, a little more traditional.
That's exactly right.
Oh, excellent.
And then we'll go to the single malt, and a lot of people think when you hear single malt, it's like a Scotch. It's not a Scotch; it's an American single malt.
Right.
It's malted barley. It's actually the only grain that they don't grow at the distillery or near the distillery, only because we don't have malting houses in America anymore. Okay. It's something they're looking into. Hopefully, one day they can have that at the distillery. So, if you had to profile it, it's somewhere in between a Scotch and a bourbon, but it's very uniquely American single malt. So there's no peat, there's no smoke in it.
Okay.
And it's aged in these barrels.
Okay. And the barrels are, what are the barrels made with?
These are New American charred oak. Yeah, they have. Yeah.
It's lighter than the last one. Get the char a little bit.
Yes.
The finish is more bourbon-like, maybe. Is this the same? What proof is this? They're all the same.
They're
proof?
all 92, 46 IBB.
Wow, that's really good too. Okay.
And then my favorite is the Manhattan Rye. And like I said, it's one of the only 100% rye whiskeys on the market.
Okay.
And you'll definitely tell a difference with that. This is very bold, spicy, peppery.
Oh yeah.
And you know, with the nose is amazing, and you know, with the whole craft cocktail movement, you know, almost all classic cocktails, you know, Sazeracs were made with rye whiskey back in the day.
That is the most bold. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Wow. 100% rye.
100%.
That's exquisite. It's my favorite.
Yeah, mine too.
Oh, awesome. Hey, thank you.
Yes, thank you very much.
That's good education.
Thank you.
Better tasting than the last time I did it in the back room. Okay, thanks. Okay. Thank you very much. It's our first go into this.